All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. Appreciate all the love and support. So I just finished watching Sean Combs' The Reckoning, the documentary produced by 50 Cent. If you haven't watched it yet and you plan on watching it, you might want to exit this video because there will be some spoilers in here. But this was better than I thought it was going to be. I just thought it was going to be a lot of, besides the footage, of course, that 50 Cent and Netflix got a hold of. I thought it would be a lot of things that I knew already, stuff that I reacted to, talked about, read about on my channel already. I thought it would be a lot of that, which it was, but it was more detailed interviews. I'm not going to go over everything that was in this documentary. I just want to get to the meat of it. Before I forget, let me just say this. It's just crazy to hear Kirk Burrowes' story. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. The man owned 25% of Bad Boy and was like homeless. He tried to take Diddy to court. It did not work out in his favor. The man ended up in shelters and stuff like that. You think about Bad Boy and all the money that they made, or Diddy made, I should say. So I have a very, very important message right now. I've talked about this on my channel many times, but I feel now like after seeing this, if you are an inspiring artist, if you have some type of talent, something that you are passionate about, let me just say this. Do not, I repeat, do not get into this music industry. Don't do it. I don't know if you'll ever see this video if you're an inspiring artist. Just do not get in this industry, man. Just listening to what people were saying about Diddy and like how he took something from Andre Harrell, like he took his method from him. You know, they were with it just seems like a lot of people were happy with just being famous. Although they were promised fame and fortune, a lot of them seemed okay with just the fame until, like later on when they realized, like, what am I doing here? What's her name? Baps. She talked about how when, you had that show Making the Band, and basically he signed them, and she was like, he gave her this stack, like, I mean, this huge stack of papers, and basically was like, make sure you read all that. And I feel like he did that because he knew that they wouldn't. She was like, I'm with Bad Boy now. And I think that stood out to me a lot, because I've talked about how when you look at someone who is at the highest of the heights like Diddy was, and people want a piece of that. So having your name associated with him is enough for some people, enough for them not to read the paperwork. Because what stood out was like a lot of people were talking about money that they never received. How Little Rod, how he said he produced that Love album for Diddy, and he was playing all the messages, and he was like, he was promised $250,000. And he said all that they were willing to give was $29,000, which till this day he still hasn't received. $250. He said he missed birthday parties, missed this, missed that. He was there with Diddy. They were trying to create this song that had like a Michael Jackson feel or something to it for Justin Bieber. And he was the only one who could do it. He did it, and that got him into Diddy's house. So he had thought he made it. He thought he made it and never got the money. Never got the money. I know I'm going to be going all over the place with this, but bear with me. Diddy's sons, especially Justin, oh my goodness. You talking about sticking by his side? And I forgot who it was, but they made a great point. They said, because of the fame and fortune, Diddy's kids may want to say something, but they never will. And I mentioned that. I said they don't want to mess up their bag. They don't want to mess up all this free stuff that they're giving. I mean, when you look at that footage that 50 Cent and Netflix obtained, how whenever you saw Diddy, you saw Justin right next to him. Christian, it seemed like he was there at some times, but Justin was literally right there trying to strategize with Diddy. And this is 10 days or 6, whatever the days it was leading up to his arrest. Justin was right by his side. Lil Rob talked about how, you know, the studio session where it seemed like they were having freak offs and Justin was right there with Diddy. You know, allegedly, you know, when Lil Rod said he heard the gunshots in the bathroom when they were at the studio, and he thought it was some button that he hit on the soundboard, and he said it was I forget the guy, but Justin and Diddy in the bathroom when you heard those gunshots. And this is what I talk about with power, man. You'll even have like crooked cops, because they were saying they don't even know what happened. He don't even know what happened to the guy who got shot, but he was helping him, trying to stop the bleeding. And Diddy told him to say, make sure you let them know that this didn't happen here. And something happened with the bodyguard, and the story pretty much just went away. The dude who got shot just disappeared. So this is what I meant when I was talking about money and power, and how when you're at the top, you can even have police in your pocket. All right, because there's no way with some of these situations that was happening that Diddy should have been in jail a long time ago. And you got people in this documentary that were extremely close to him that were speaking out. I mean, extremely close. Things that they saw, things that they knew about, and they're basically saying that Diddy was doing things way back in the day. It just seems like even, you know, when Suge Knight at those, what was it, the Source Awards, when Suge Knight was talking about, if you don't want your producer dancing in all your videos and, you know, in the limelight, come to death row. And it just seemed like from the beginning, Diddy just wanted to be the focal point. It goes into talking about the Tupac, Biggie situation, how, and again, it's stuff that I knew already. That none of that stuff was surprising to me. A real sad story in here was Aubrey O'Day not even knowing if she possibly was SA'd. But it's someone walked in on her and saw it happening and was bringing this story to her, and she don't even recall it. The girl was saying that she saw her, she was passed out. I'm 100% sure that was Aubrey O'Day with Diddy and I forget the guy's name, but I mean, for those of you who watch this, I'm gonna watch some videos trying to see what other people are saying about this, but talking about at the courthouse, how Diddy's team was strategizing, and this for me, again, it was something that I knew already, but to really hear other people talk about it, man, just the power dynamic. The main thing I took from this whole documentary is that stay out of the industry. If you want to be famous, do it on your own. Do it on your own, because these people are evil. They're monsters, man. Like, seeing what all of these artists had to go through, and just them talking about how they weren't paid, but it's just nothing you really could do, because when you speak out, you'll get blackballed. You'll get blackballed. And you know, when Capricorn Clark was talking, she was talking about how she finally got the confidence to say something after Cassie came out and said something. You know, her story is crazy because she was talking about the alleged, when Diddy took her, you know, the K word, when Diddy took her to Kid Cudi's house uh, against her will, and how, you know, when she was in court telling the story, how they didn't believe it. Even the jury, the two jurors that spoke in this video, how the one black chick said she kind of looked like, I don't know. It's just, they were talking about how when you see Diddy in the courtroom, how Diddy is so powerful, he's a celebrity, and they think that that worked against the jury, because like they're kind of like starstruck, like seeing, or starstruck seeing Diddy there and hearing them tell this story about him, and people kind of like that one dude was talking about, he didn't see like the whole Cassie Diddy situation, their relationship, how Cassie kept going back, but it's like people don't really understand how that worked, how he had her since a young age, that dynamic with Kim and Cassie. Uh, One of Diddy's security was talking about how Kim was the wife, but Cassie was a wifey. Diddy had this thing about taking his way of getting back at people was trying to take the women from them. You know, how the Big Papa video, he stole the idea from Tupac, I Get Around. He wanted that same vibe. You know, that's why he was in the bathtub, like Tupac was in the bathtub. Mentally, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Again, I know I'm all over with this, but I just watched 4 episodes back to back to back to back, and I'm just trying to remember everything, man. I'm not gonna go into how Diddy grew up. We already know about that, how his mother was, how his father was. But I'll just say, you have the people that are close to him that won't say nothing, and then the people that were close to him that speak out, but they were kind of blackballed, so nobody really believes them. You know, the footage that Diddy was recording himself, again, that Netflix got a hold of, is very telling. Hearing him trying to strategize, hearing him talking to the other chick that was in the Bad Boy Dirty Money with Dawn, the other chick, how she at one time needed like $5,000 from Diddy because she was trying to fight a case, and Diddy was like, I can't do this right now. And I'm like, this dude got so much money. Even Craig Mack's wife talked about how Craig Mack had the #1 song but wasn't seeing no money. And Craig Mack needed money, and Diddy pulled out a stack of money and gave this man $100. Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, you know, number one song, and wasn't seeing no money because Diddy was getting all that money that they owed him from studio time, from the advance. So I give you advance. Once you make that money, it's mine. You want a studio session? You want 4 studio sessions? That's $400,000. So when you make this music, I'ma just take, so you ain't gotta pay me. I'ma just take it from you. I won't give you your money because it's my money. Crazy. Crazy. So again, and we're not even gonna talk about how We have all the people that are dead now, that are gone. You know, Diddy started with Uptown Records, and Heavy D was like the biggest artist on there. Heavy D's gone now. But, you know, Diddy got fired. But he was like, Andre told him, I'll sell Biggie to you. So Diddy started his Bad Boy, you know, and then him and Biggie, they took off. But you had Biggie mother in there talking about how she didn't like him. Biggie really didn't like him. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. The whole Tupac situation, which we already knew about, with the whole Keefy D thing and them saying uh, the paying the money, the $1 million for the hit. It was a lot. Like I said, a lot in here that I knew already, but just watching that footage of him panicking on the phone. He mentioned Christina Carm because he was on the phone with her. He was like, KK, you in this too. When they were trying to strategize, they're trying to paint a picture, you know, telling people about, like, they wanted to find Dawn Richards interviews where she's speaking good about him. Just trying to remember everything, man. I just feel like this just validated what I was saying about the industry. And a lot of these artists will just take the fame and hope that the fortune would come. People like that, you know, walking out a door and people screaming, there goes such and such. Oh my God. People like feeling on like they're on top of the world. You know, they went into the whole Shine going to jail when you had the chick speaking out saying that Diddy was the one who did it. Diddy talking about, I don't own a gun, never had a gun, and stuff is just popping up in my head. But I will say this. Diddy had a way of you know, the lifestyle he lived and that he showed off, people wanted to be a part of that. So he had a way of bringing people in, not knowing, with them not knowing what they were getting themselves into. They just seen the people around Diddy and they wanted a piece of that. They talked about how all these people associate with Diddy been to jail before, but he had at the time never been to jail. Or even worse, all these people associated with him die or dead. That clip when he showed him in New York, they said how Diddy said Diddy really don't like being around the culture until he needs the culture. You know, when they showed him in New York with the people, shaking hands, hugging, got back in the car saying he needs to take a bath, the water needs to be boiling hot, because, you know, when you're shaking hands with everybody, you just need to get it off you. So it was a lot in here. I feel like once he get out, I'll say this, once Diddy gets out of jail, just from seeing this and knowing how people can be, he's going to be very successful again. People are going to sign with him. I was like, I'm wondering what this is going to look like. People are going to sign with him. After seeing that courthouse and seeing the support he was getting, people are going to sign with him. Diddy's going to probably do a tour. Diddy's probably going to sell out. If they let him in there, he's probably going to sell out Madison Square Garden, you know, a coming home tour. And I don't know. I don't know if he's going to take time to reflect or if he's going to want revenge on 50 Cent for this documentary just because he was able to obtain this footage, because they said that Diddy is very keen on getting revenge. I probably missed a lot, but I want to get to some videos about other people, seeing other, like the Breakfast Club and some other people. I want to hear what they had to say about this documentary, and if they feel the same way I do. But appreciate you guys coming over for my review on this. I will say though, seeing those people interview, man, it's just crazy to think that if only more people would have spoke out long time ago. Cassie gave a lot of people the courage. I'll say that. All right, peace out.